Hello everybody, welcome back. 2022 first video of the year on ACC, of course. Where else will we pick it up from? And we are going to show you my rig again, which was my last video, but this one's a bit different. I'm showing you my point of view. What does it look like when I'm sat down racing? And you can see I'm wearing a GoPro Hero 7 on my head. And first thing I want to kind of get out of the way is asking the tech wizards out there, why is the quality the way it is? So I've got a Hero 7, it's 3 years old, I've got it on 4K, 60 FPS. Why, the screens look okay, but why does everything else look a bit fuzzy? I mean, the room was well lit, so please let me know down in the comments below, because I'd love to improve the quality of these going forward. I do like this idea. But anyway, into the video. I'm on the ACC in a competition server where I think it was like a 7-minute practice, 5-minute quali, 30-minute race on Laguna Seca in any GT3 car I wanted to pick, so I picked the McLaren, of course. I'm going to show you my qualifying lap, and as I say, challenging conditions. I hadn't been on ACC for probably a fair few weeks, like maybe a month. So I just picked it up, got aggressive preset on the car, and away we went. So, I mean, we'll still be strong. You know, we've got enough hours in the game to just pick it up whenever we want, really. So, I mean, the lap so far, semi-decent. You can see a bit slippy on exits, but that is the nature of an aggressive preset setup. You know, it's understeery entry to mid-corner, and then you're kind of struggling on the exit with a bit of oversteer. And again, same kind of characteristic in that left-hander. Going into this next left-hander, kind of brake at the 2-board, use the curb on the inside, and then run onto the curb on the outside. But it is slippy, so we've got a massive oversteer moment there. Going up to the holy grail of Laguna Seca, the corkscrew. Braking in a straight line, turning in late, clipping the curb on the inside, just keeping the steering straight over the brow, and that was quite nice actually. You can gain or lose a lot of time through the corkscrew, and you can see there is a bit of wheel delay, but it's the best you can get. It's 1 ms the monitors in terms of response time, but there is still that millisecond of delay, so you can just about see it, but it's pretty bloody good. And I'd love to hear your comments down below. What do you think of this view, you know, of me looking around the screens to see what part of the screen I'm looking at, and you kind of get to see the forces that my arms and everything contributes to the driving. But we took pole, 31.677, 1.4 seconds out of P2, and there's a mix of cars on the grid. The new BMW, which is rapid, I hear from various people, and I mean rapid out of the box as well. You don't really have to develop the setup on it. Got Porsche there, we've got a Merc and Aston in the background as well, Bentley. So it's a mixed grid, and let's see how it turns out. I will spoil it a little bit. It's an absolutely mental race, so you might want to stick around. The only bad thing about it is that at the end of the formation lap, I checked at the end of the race, my GoPro died, and the race was too good to show you to not show you the race. So I'm going to show you it, but it will be from the gameplay point of view. But do let me know if you want to see this view in the future with future videos. Maybe I could do some streams like that. I mean, I thought it was kind of cool. If the quality improves on it as well, even better. But into the race start. So waiting for the green lights, and away we go. We get a decent start. You can't really see the BMW to the right hand side yet, but he does tuck in behind us going into turn 1, and we do retain the lead. So you've got to judge your braking point very carefully for turn 1. Very easy in these conditions, especially when you've done minimal practice, to kind of judge where to brake. I mean, you have your braking point from qualifying, but you've got more fuel on board, and you're approaching with less speed, so you do have to kind of guess. And we retain the lead, and we do start to gap in the next few corners. So I thought, you know what, stuff it. I'm going to let people through. I'm going to do a little bit of a comeback drive. I didn't know how many to let through. I didn't want to underestimate my opponents, so I let 5 of them through. Or no, I let 4 of them through. So it's P5 going into lap 2. And, well, am I P4 actually? No, I'm P4. Sorry, I can't count. So I let 3 people through, and I just thought, how quickly can we get back past people? So we're still on lap 2 right now, and the BMW, the leader went off, and the BMW, there was a bit of a concertina effect there. All the other cars slowed down, and I went up the inside of the Bentley going into the corkscrew, and now I'm P3. The Porsche and the BMW very, very close there going through the corkscrew. The McLaren through corners like that is horrible. Just too low, too stiff, and other cars just glide through it. And the BMW, you can see they're struggling a bit for grip, and he's holding the Porsche up a little bit. And already we're back on them. So if we keep it clean and do some good moves, it should be a matter of time before we get back in the lead. TC1, ABS 7, you can see there in the bottom right corner, brake bias 54.2. So it's a bit different to the aggressive preset. I just adjusted it on the fly. That comes with experience. And we're going to brake a lot later than the Porsche, but we don't go for a move. We're going to be patient. There's a long way to go. It's a 30-minute race, so you're looking at about 15, maybe 14 laps. And the Porsche there going into T3 makes a bit of a mistake. We got the inside, and happy days, P2. Next up, the BMW of Janssen. So can we get in this lap? That's the question. That is the question. And in this competition server race, I think it's different every single day. And you can see that I forgot about that, but yeah, Janssen outbroke himself in the left-hander and went off. We take the lead. So it only took us a lap and a half to get back in the lead. So again, I thought I'm going to let people back through. Something exciting might happen, and what you'll see next is, I didn't move. The steering didn't move, but the Aston just decided to... Or was it the Bentley? I can't remember. But he absolutely tore me a new one going down the pit straight. He just knocked me. He jinked to the left and put me in the wall. So I did have a bit of damage, a bit of bodywork damage, maybe a tiny bit of suspension damage, but I don't think it really matters. And then up the inside of the Lamborghini, the Aston almost got a tank slapper on there coming on the exit of T2. So we are, I think, P6 now, and with a bit of damage, so a bit more of a challenge ahead of us. So what can we do with that? Don't know what happened to the Aston there. Sorry, he overtook the BMW. The BMW is in front of us now, Janssen, who's really struggling, considering he was P2 in quali, he's really struggling in the race. So he's going to go for a move down the corkscrew. They make contact. I have to take avoiding action away from the Aston. We lose a position because of that. And we do drop a place, but we gain a place, so we maintain position. Janssen there probably being a bit audacious, a bit optimistic. That move was never really going to work. Up the inside of the corkscrew that late. It's sketchy, but in the wet as well. So you can see there into the final corner, we sort of outbroke ourselves, but turned it into an overtake. So maybe a little bit aggressive, especially for a competition server race, but we take it. It wasn't dirty. It was on the edge. So back up to the rear end of Janssen's car, the BMW. And in fairness, I've not drove the BMW yet, so please, again, let me know what your thoughts are on the BMW for those who have driven it, because I'd be intrigued to know. Up the inside of Janssen, then in the final corner, and away we go into P3. So in terms of the McLaren, I remember the old update, it wasn't a great car at Laguna Seca. Not sure if that's changed. I don't think it should have, but in this race, in these conditions, it seemed alright. So the Bentley there on the exit at T4, got on the gravel, made a mistake, we're up the inside into P2. So on lap 8 then, we are, I know it says 7 laps at the top, but that means we're on lap 8. We are P2 again, and Amon in P1 is, you can see there, he's searching for the wet lines. So that Porsche, notoriously bad on the tyres, he's looking to cool those tyres down. And you can't see because this is a replay, it's not a live gameplay feed, but my tyres were getting a bit roasty, and that's one key thing about this game now since the update, V1.8 update. The tyres get very hot, dry a lot, but in the wet as well, so you have to manage that. It's something you have to think about, definitely. And the Porsche was very kind. He let me go, so I got on the rear end of him and he just jumped out of the way, which I didn't really want, to be honest. I wanted a bit of a battle. So lap 9 into P1 again with a bit of damage, and you can see the track is rapidly drying out now. So on lap 14, a few of the guys, I think everyone boxed apart from J. Belinda, who didn't box, and he's staying out there on the wets. It's drying ridiculously quick. I think the game, this particular server had it on to change the conditions very quickly, but Laguna Seca is quite hilly, so I suppose in real life it would dry fairly quickly. And I thought, I've got nothing to lose, it's probably going to be the better call anyway, even though there's only 4 or 5 laps remaining. So I'm on slicks now, had to really fire them up, but we did get them going in the end, and I was guessing with the pressures as well. I had no idea what to put them to. a car there spinning at spinning at the corkscrew. We rejoined then in 5th position. A few of the guys got an undercut with the slicks, and we got a Merc and then another BMW in front of us. The Merc kind of running wide on the exit of the penultimate corner, defending into the final corner, and we're going to do a little switcheroo, which is quite nice. Get good traction on the exit, and then we've got the BMW coming up next. With only, as I say, I think it was like 3 or 4 laps to go, so it was quite tight whether I was going to catch Belinda or not. You can see there one of the Porsches rejoining, but that's a back marker, if I'm not wrong. I think that might be Amon. And we're going to go up the inside of the BMW coming on the exit T2. The Porsche that's rejoining is going to be sort of in the way, but he's on cold tyres. He lets us go. That's actually the same chap who let us go earlier in the race for the lead. So we're P2, but there's a massive gap to P1, and within 3 laps, I think it was 14 or 15 seconds, but within 3 laps, because he's on burned out wets, we closed it up within 3.9 seconds. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please sit back and watch this absolute masterclass of a lunge going into turn 1. I mean, that was not intentional. It was me outbraking myself again. Or I wouldn't say outbraking myself, probably Belinda braking ridiculously early on burned out wets. But it looked pretty good, you know. I was really happy with that. And the thing is, with triple screens, you'll see it the next time I do a video like this. It looks a lot more crazy from my point of view than it does in the replay. I think it's just because you're more immersed with the triples. But anyway, on the final lap, coming through the final corner, it started to rain towards the end on the final lap again. But we do win with a decent margin, about 7-8 seconds to Belinda. And we won the race. But I mean, Belinda, to be fair to him, that's a great call on strategy, because he was nowhere and then he was P2 at the end. So fair play. Competition server race, which I thought was really fun. Sorry the GoPro ended, but you did get a sneaky insight into what it looks like from my point of view when I'm sat in the rig. And please let me know if you want to see more videos like that with the GoPro on the head cam with better quality. You know, I think it could be quite a cool concept, especially if I stream it as well. Please let me know, give it a thumbs up and sub to the channel. There's going to be some exciting content coming up very soon. I can't say what it is, but it's going to be really, really cool. And yeah, welcome to 22 everyone, and I'll see you all on the next one.